What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God bless you. May God guide you. May God keep you and comfort you. May God aid you in your healing process. We have to grow up. Man, I'm laughing because it's crazy. If you've grown up in an environment where you are constantly let down, you are constantly disappointed, your family let you down over and over and over, whether it's a father, whether it's a mother, whether it's your siblings, your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents, whatever. If you grew up in an environment where you were constantly let down, it's for a reason. If you grew up in a relationship and you were constantly frustrated and just let down and disappointed, it's all for a reason. It's for a reason. What am I talking about? One of the things that God had to show me, because of the environment that I grew up in, the toxic ass environment. And when I say toxic, I mean toxic. It was bad all the way around. It was violent, very verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. It was hell. It was hell. And what God had to show me, because I personalized all that, I thought that, man, these people don't fucking like me. These people, my family, they fucking hate me. You know, and you start questioning you. What the fuck is wrong with me to why everybody in my family don't like me? You know what I mean? What the fuck is wrong with my own dad didn't even embrace me or accept me as a little kid? You know what I mean? And you start hearing all this shit. And one of the things that I experienced, a lot of the things I experienced, the hands of my aunt who raised me, was she was verbally abusive. You know, verbally abusive. And it's just, when you're constantly told that you're stupid, you're dumb, you're not going to amount to anything, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison like your dad, or you're going to be dead before you're 18 years old, or you're going straight to hell. You know what I mean? And you're told all this stuff by somebody who's a Christian, you know, and you grow up believing that stuff. You grow up believing something's wrong with you. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere, I promise you. You grow up believing something's wrong with you. I must really be a bad person. Something really has to be wrong with me. Then you start looking to be accepted by your peers and, you know, people of the opposite sex, if that's what you're interested in. You know, you start looking for these affirmations. You start looking for these connections. And then you find out that, man, these young ladies are breaking your heart, or dudes are breaking your heart. They're dogging you out. They're cheating on you. What happens over time is that we lose trust in humanity. We lose trust in people. Stay with me. And one thing that God had to show me was, Elijah, you lost trust in me. Elijah, you can't trust the process because all these things happen to you. Say it differently. Elijah, it's hard for you to trust a God, a source, a creator. It's hard for you to trust the universe when you've been showed your whole life that you can't trust. When every time you put your trust in someone, you got your heart broke. Every time you put your trust in someone, they disappointed you, they failed you, they let you down, they betrayed you, they dogged you the fuck out. It wasn't because you were a bad person. It wasn't because you wasn't lovable. It's not because you're not, quote unquote, likable. The ultimate thing was to get you to get to a place to where you would lose trust in source. You would lose trust in God. And because you couldn't trust people, and because you couldn't trust God, source, universe, because why would God look out for me? God ain't never really looked out for me. If you know what I mean? And that's the perspective we take on. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna be real with you guys, man. That was my mentality, man. Fuck God. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people, they get so fucking twisted over that stupid shit. Oh, you can't say that about God. Well, you ain't been through the shit I've been through. How the fuck you gonna tell me how to think? How the fuck you gonna tell me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing when you ain't never walked a fucking day in my shoes? You know what I mean? We gotta grow the fuck up. Everybody didn't have your fucking life. Everybody ain't had the great experiences you had. Some of us have had some tragic shit happen to us. Some of us have gone through fucking hell that the great majority of humanity couldn't survive. And so for us that have really gone through fucking hell, for those of us who came into this fucking world and it was fucking hellish from the day we got here. From the day we got here, we got fucking hell. For those of us, the great majority of us had gotten to a place in time where we said, fuck God. And we said, fuck God, because if there was a God, God wouldn't have allowed me to go through all that shit. If there was a just God, there was nothing that I did as a fucking baby to accept the abuse for me to deserve the abuse that I got from my fucking daddy. If there was a just God, there was nothing for me to do, nothing that I did as a kid to deserve sin. My father stabbed my mama 49 motherfucking times. Nothing I did to deserve that. If there is a just God, there's nothing that I did as a 6-year-old kid to deserve being molested by church people on multiple occasions, or on 2 occasions. I didn't deserve that. I didn't do anything in this life to deserve that. So from my perspective, God don't give a fuck about me. There's nothing I did as a kid to deserve being emotionally beat the fuck down by my family. Physically beat the fuck down by my uncle. Nothing I did as a kid deserved that. So from my perspective, as a kid, God didn't give a fuck about me because my family don't give a fuck about me. Not only do God not quote unquote give a fuck about me, my family don't give a fuck about me. All the people I'm looking to outside of my family don't give a fuck about me. The young ladies that I'm trying to hook up with don't give a fuck about me. And so my perspective became, man, what the fuck? Fuck this world. You know what I mean? Fuck everybody in this raggedy ass bitch. And fuck the God that created this raggedy shit. That was my perspective. Because of all the hell and the pain and the trauma that I went through. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, it was designed that way for a reason. Elijah, I'm big enough to handle you being mad at me. Elijah, I'm big enough to handle you wanting to quote unquote beat my ass. Elijah, I'm big enough to handle you wanting to cuss me out and you cussing me out. Elijah, the reason why you went through all that shit was so that you would lose trust in God. You would lose trust in source. Because if you ever lost trust in God, if you ever lose trust in source, you cannot reach your full potential. You can't trust the process. And if you can't trust the process, you can't reach your full potential. If you can't trust the process, you can't fucking grow up emotionally. If you can't trust the process, you can't heal. You see how that's connected? So all the shit that we went through, all the shit that I went through was to get me to a place where I wouldn't trust the process. I wouldn't trust the process. And God is still working with me today. I'm trusting the process. Because it's hard sometimes. When you start looking around like, what the fuck? And why the fuck? And da-da-da-da. And you just looking at shit. And God is like, shut the fuck up and relax. Trust the process. Trust the process. I mean, last year I came to, not last year, 2022, I came to New York to be with this young lady. I would have never came to New York. Never wanted to come to New York. I didn't give a fuck about the East Coast. Real shit. I'm from Cali, you know what I mean? And I'm 54. I grew up in that time where, man, it was that East Coast, West Coast shit. And so I was always Cali, you know what I mean? Always repping, fuck East Coast, fuck New York, and da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? I came into the military on that stupid shit. But I had to learn to trust the process. I had to learn to trust the process. And that's hard to do when everything in your life, everything in your past has been designed to get you to not trust the process. Do you catch that? And so even though the relationship didn't last and some crazy shit happened, the first thing is like, this blah, 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 blah got me fucked up. You know what I mean? She got me all the way fucked up and da-da-da-da. And you want to go on that hoorah shit. And God has to talk me back down. What the fuck you talking about? What the fuck you doing? Why are you always trying to wild the fuck out? Sit your ass down, shut the fuck up, and trust the process. Elijah, slow your motherfucking roll. Trust the fucking process. It wasn't about her. I wanted you out here for your greater good. I wanted you out here because there's some shit that you needed to experience. Some shit I want to show you. Some shit I want to give you. Some shit that's out here that you need to see. You would have never got out in Cali. There's somebody I got designed for you, but you would have never met them had I not used this young lady to bring you here. Don't get mad at her. Because the shit didn't work out. It was never supposed to work out. I don't give a fuck how much you loved her. It was never supposed to work out because it wasn't for her. It was for you to grow the fuck up and continue your education on trusting the process and understanding that I brought you here not just to be brokenhearted. I brought you here not just to be abandoned and rejected and woo-doo-doo, because I could have did all that shit in California. You went through all that shit in fucking California. I didn't need to bring you all the way out here to New York for you to go through that shit, if that's the only thing that it was for. There's always a bigger picture. There's always a greater good. You have to learn to trust the process. You have to remember, everything is always working out for you. Everything. Everything. It don't look like it. It don't seem like it. It don't feel like it. But you have to remember, everything is always working out for you. Trust the process. And watch how things unfold. Trust the process. And watch as God starts, Source, Universe, starts unveiling things, revealing things to you. Now that the situation's happened and we're no longer in communication, and after I've been able to heal from all of that, I'm able to sit back a year later and be like, damn, That shit was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Damn. To come all the way out here to be abandoned and become homeless and all this other crazy ass shit in New York. You know what I mean? Where you don't know anybody but her. You know what I mean? And for God to just work with you and to guide you and to help you heal. So you get to a place that's like, damn, I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad that I went through that shit. Because it showed me how fucking strong and resilient I really am. To be able to go through some shit like that in a place where you don't fucking know anybody. You ain't got your peoples around you to support you and to lean on. And you got to do this shit all on your own. And you got to trust the motherfucking process. Because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. We got to grow up. We got to grow up. We got to grow up emotionally and understand that it's all good. It's not all good while you going through it, because this shit motherfucking hurts. This shit is painful as fuck. I get that. Trust the process. Relax and understand that, man, it's all good. It's working out for my best interests. Regardless of how it feels and seems right now, I'm going to come out on top. I'm going to come out a lot better off. We have to grow up. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, or to even challenge your way of thinking. I'm not asking you to believe in God. I'm definitely not asking you to become fucking religious. You don't need no fucking religion. You just need to trust the process. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking out with me. Happy healing. Peace.